Yeah, that was a tough one because, you watch film and all the mistakes we made throughout the course of the game to lose by 1 point. And, we had the last play defended and we fell down and, we probably should have fouled that kid before she got a layup. But, hindsight's always 20/20. We had everything that we needed to. And, they were close. They had Colorado State on the ropes. They won at Fresno. And, I know we knew how dangerous they were. But, you have to come back and work. We got 5 games left, and it's just a matter of where you want to finish. And I don't know where we can. We're not that far behind the top 5, but there's a chance we're going to have to play that first game. And if we do, so what? And you get an extra game if you win 4. Utah did it years ago, and we still can. But we got to play well going into the tournament, and that's what we need to do now.
Today seemed like one of those practice days where you're just real kind of vocal and
despondent,
looking for the right. What's the most frustrating thing about the squad at this point?
Well, I think I needed to be hard on them today, so that was just pretty much what that was. I think just, for us, finding groups and combinations that, and we're probably just going to really slow it down now. Play 7, 8 players, maybe no more than that, and then just use all your timeouts, and if you have to sub a kid in for a minute or two, fine. But, I think the top 8, 9 is going to get the bulk of the minutes, and we just got to go with that.
Does that help out with that mentality of the unknown? Oh, I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. That type of thing.
Yeah, I think so for the kids, a little bit. But there's still that. I mean, again, and you go back without Alexa Chavez, you just didn't have that toughness all year long, and she's back and she's given us a lot. That other guard is never. Once conference hit, it's never been really secure, and no one's really ever stepped up with it. And that's been the most frustrating part, is I know I have a lot of young players, and I have to go to them. And when Charisse went down a little bit, I mean, I literally didn't know who to put in, and I put one kid in, and she fouls a 3-point shooter. So it's like, you don't, when they do this, you want to kind of look away and say no. And but they have to learn and get better, and that's what we're here for. And they will learn, and they'll get better. But, there's just a lot of youngsters out there, and and a lot of people who are inexperienced. I mean, Whitney's not young, but she's got a lot of inexperience, and it shows. And, having Alexa back, we're just going to ride her as long as we can, and we're going to have to.
What's the latest with Alexa and Charisse?
Well, they're. I mean, I just sat them out.
Yeah.
I mean, but they'll play. I mean, Alexa will probably sit out again tomorrow. Charisse, we'll see. She's got a pretty bad hip pointer, and those hurt. I mean, I remember getting one years ago, and those really hurt. So she had some padding today, but it's better to have her for the game than it is practice. I mean, she's shooting better than any of our guards. She's averaging 5.2 rebounds a game. The only other one that's averaging more is Khadijah in conference, and we need her as much as possible.
I mean, last year you guys had a slow start, and then you just caught off fire late this season in the postseason. I mean, do you see that same kind of competitiveness or fire hidden?
I just think we were a little bit. It's just such a different team last year. I can't praise Antisha Brown enough because she was such a glue that she just didn't allow it. And she wouldn't. We were a little bit. I wouldn't say we're a little bit more experienced, but we were with Alexa and with our starting group. Substitutions were still kind of adventure sometimes, but I was able to ride those guys out as much as possible. That starting 5. And, we had some people that came in and complemented roles, but we also have some experience. Without Antisha and Alexa this year, it's just been more difficult, with the younger players and having them come along. And that's what happens when you play freshmen and sophomores. You just have an inexperienced group, and they're learning, they're getting better. And, we see ourselves winning the conference tournament. I mean, that's our goal, and we're not going to shy away from that. Regardless of how we finish. If we have to win 4 games or 3 games, it doesn't matter at this point.
So Owens is stepping up now. Do you think that maybe she's because I know it's the last 3 or 4 games. So much better.
She's had great. The last 3 games, she's had great games, and again, I just don't see that changing. So some people need to step up with her. Khadijah got 2 quick fouls and sat the second quarter, and we scored 6 points. And then just to bring the others along the way. And Charisse was hurting during the game, so it wasn't her best game.
What do you take away from the first meeting here against Boise
I mean, it's funny with them because they've lost 2 in a row, and they got beat pretty good by Colorado State and Wyoming. So they're not as bad as that, and I don't think they're as good as they beat us at the pit. I mean, nothing went well. And I credit them. I mean, they made every shot. All those shots they made against us, you watch the last 2 games, they didn't come close in that. So I think for us, there's that medium, that happy medium in there. We're planning on going up there, and we want to win a basketball game. And I told them they'd send a message if they started with this first of 5 games to go up there and beat Boise at Boise.
Coach, do you like this starting 5? You've shuffled it up so many times.
Not really,
of
but
course.
I mean, it's what we have right now. It has been. I've tried to shuffle everything I could, and it hasn't been the ideal starting 5. But I just have to find groups in there that play well together during that period of time or that particular game, and then go with those people, and then few off the bench.
And you talked about lack of confidence and stuff. What does that do though? Now that you only have these 8 or 9 people that are playing, and then you have.
Well, those are the ones that are playing with the most confidence. So
Right.
that's what I like about it. And those are the ones that are rebounding. I mean, we haven't, again, shot the ball particularly well, but we're actually board. I mean, we're getting in there and we're rebounding like crazy. So we've stepped up some things, and the ones that I plan on playing the most are playing with the most confidence.
Kind of touched on it a little bit, Coach, but just this final stretch
Mhm.
of games and, the challenge of playing some of these teams and what it means.
Yeah, and it's go time. To send a message to beat Boise at Boise, we've got to go beat Fresno State at Fresno State. We got Air Force at home, we got Nevada at home. And I'm missing one. Oh, and Colorado State. And to beat a Colorado State team here, and we beat them by 28 points last year. And I don't see anything different. I mean, I know how good all these teams are, but it's about us too. I think we're good, and I think we have a good group, and I think, our kids, when they play with confidence, they can play and beat anybody. I really do. So that's our message to them the rest of the games.